one way or another, he will find his way to the world of men. When he does, you will be there waiting for him.
Perhaps one of the most mysterious unsung heroes of Westeros, Benjen Stark has puzzled viewers since heading north of the Wall, only to return as a product of the Children of the Forest. Born the youngest son of Lord Rickard Stark of Winterfell, Benjen Stark became a member of the Night's Watch as well as the First Ranger. After leaving to go north of the Wall, he was attacked by the White Walkers and left for dead. Found by the Children of the Forest, Benjen Stark was saved by the same magic used to transform the Night King. With magic now in play, Benjen was sent by the Three-Eyed Raven to rescue Bran and Mira and eventually Jon Snow from certain death. As he was last seen being overran by whites, Benjen Stark has been presumed dead. But can he even be killed? And welcome back to LycanStudios. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. Hopefully you enjoyed that intro. I thought it was pretty good. If you did, make sure to smash that thumbs up button. We're going to shoot for 104 likes on this video. So if we can make that happen, that would be absolutely awesome. But anyways, welcome to part 1 of Benjen Stark's fate. So I think we're going to completely revisit all the fates of characters. We're going to do it in a different format, kind of like this, and we'll see how it goes. The cool thing about breaking this into multiple parts, which I'm not too sure how many parts there will be yet, I guess it'll just depend, is that after this one, you guys can leave me some comments and stuff talking about Benjen or talking about whatever character we cover, and I will use some of your guys' comments in the next video. So it'll be kind of like a community thing. So I think it'll be pretty cool. But like I said, make sure to smash that thumbs up button. It helps a lot. Before we get into the video, I do want to say I apologize for not uploading lately. I'm pretty sure I have a kidney stone, and it's been owning me. That's about all I can say. So I'm finally feeling pretty decent. So I'm hoping that I can get back into the swing of things. And also, of course, make sure to check out the description for all the social medias, all that good stuff, and for the timestamps, because I figured the beginning of this video is mostly going to be his backstory and stuff. So if you want to skip past that, be sure to check the timestamps. And last but not least, the shout out of the video. Today we have Carl Jeniston. Thank you so much, man. I think you're kind of new, but yeah, you've been always leaving a comment since you got here, always smashing the thumbs up button, all that good stuff. And yeah, everybody just tell Carl you're a beast, changing it up a little bit. If you'd like to be a part of the shout out one day, just make sure to keep doing what you're doing, comment, hit the bell, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will pick you, I promise. But anyways, let's jump into part 1 of Benjen Stark. All right, so first things first, you guys know I love to talk about the background, the history of the character, so that's what we're going to do first. But if you guys are like, come on, man, hurry up and get to the predictions, just check the timestamps below. You can skip around if you want to, but for those of you who want to hear this, let's continue. So I was actually trying to do this video while Lila was awake. She's asleep now, but I could not get anywhere. She was just being super adorable. She was bringing me her cards, wanting to learn. So it was super cool. So I managed to end up typing out what I wanted to talk about. So I have Benjen Stark is the youngest son of Lord Rickard Stark. He's also the youngest kid in general. Lord Rickard was the head of House Stark until he and his oldest son, Brandon, met their demise at the hands of the Mad King Aerys, thus helping to begin Robert's rebellion. Along with Brandon, Benjen is the younger sibling of Eddard, or Ned, and Lyanna Stark. As you guys know, Ned was beheaded by Joffrey, and Lyanna died giving birth to who? Oh yeah, Aegon Targaryen, or Jon Snow. Benjen ended up joining the Night's Watch after Robert's rebellion. I say after because that's actually very important for some stuff we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. But anyways, he joined the Night's Watch, eventually stepping up to the rank as First Ranger. We first see Benjen in Season 1, Episode 1, the pilot, traveling to Winterfell to attend the welcoming of King Robert. This is where we see the influence he has on the bastard Jon Snow, and the kindness he shows him, illuminating to him that he wouldn't be refused at the Night's Watch if he wished to join. We also see that he doesn't want Jon to make any irrational decisions, showing his true love for Jon. In return, he is one of Jon's heroes, mainly being the reason he decides to become a man of the Night's Watch. In Episode 1, we also see that he may be the first character to actually respect the legend of the White Walkers, not really talking about the prologue, hinting that winter is coming and so is something worse. A few days later, Benjen, Jon, and Tyrion split off from the royal party and Ned and head to Castle Black. His story doesn't really pick up until they arrive at Castle Black, and he tells Jon that he is headed north of the Wall. With Jon asking to go, but still being in training, Benjen tells him that on the Wall, a man gets what he earns when he earns it. Later on in Season 1, Benjen's horse returns to Castle Black, but with no sign of Benjen himself. Afterwards, 2 of his men are discovered and their bodies are brought back to the castle. In the middle of the night, they are reanimated as whites, leaving us to believe this is probably the fate of Benjen as well. This does, however, initiate the Lord Commander to begin the Great Ranging beyond the wall. Benjen is brought up again in Season 2 during a scene at Craster's Keep, but not really again until Season 5. In Season 5, the rebels at Castle Black trick Jon by saying they had found a wildling that knows Benjen. They add to the claim by saying he was seen during the last full moon, only to lead Jon into a trap where he is stabbed to death. In Season 6, he eventually returns, pretty much merged together with the character Cold Hands from the book. Now, you guys know that I don't really get into book content, but I thought for this, it would be pretty relevant to say that he is kind of merged into the character Cold Hands from the books, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But anyways, in Season 6, he is first shown in a vision of Bran's training at Winterfell with Ned. He is witnessed again in the vision of Willis turning into Hodor. He actually returns after Bran and Mira escape the cave and are being chased by whites. He shows up on horseback with a flaming morning star. He is a badass, covered in black with his face concealed. He kills the whites and saves Bran and Mira, later revealing himself to have been saved by the Children of the Forest. We're going to play a clip.
I led a ranging party deep into the north to find White Walkers. They found us. The White Walker stabbed me in the gut with a sword of ice. Left me there to die, to churn. The children found me. Stopped the Walkers' magic from taking hold. How? The same way they made the Walkers in the first place. You saw it yourself.
He eventually escorts Bran and Mira to the weirwood tree by the wall, explaining that he cannot go any further due to the wall's magic and that he will continue to fight for the living as he departs. Then, of course, we have him in Season 7, where he shows up for just a few minutes, just in time as Jon is about to be overran by the whites after the mission of capturing the white goes south. We'll play another clip.
Uncle Benjen. Oh. You're right for the path. Come with me. There's no time. Go!
And that pretty much wraps up Benjen's backstory in history. That is one good thing about him not really being there a lot, is the fact that we can cover that pretty quickly. But yeah, so I think the obvious question is, why did Benjen join the Night's Watch to begin with? And I think, honestly, it can be answered pretty simply. So yeah, I know a lot of people get into these crazy theories about why he did it and stuff. And, you know, they can even go all the way into the Night of the Laughing Tree with perhaps Lyanna doing it, and maybe Benjen helped her and he decided to go to the Night's Watch before he ended up getting caught for that or whatever. But I just don't see how that's possible because, like I said at the beginning, Benjen joined after the rebellion. That means Robert was king, Aerys was dead, Rhaegar was dead, Lyanna was dead. Like, all of that has already progressed. So I think there's only really one reason why he would have joined the Night's Watch. I honestly think he just joined because he was feeling guilty. I think he was guilty. He was not going to be the Lord of Winterfell, so he wasn't technically that important because obviously, even though Brandon died and Rickard died, that left Ned. So he wasn't going to be the Lord of Winterfell, and he was probably guilty because I think, just like Sonya said in the Patreon comments, so shout out to Sonya, we agree on another thing. Who would have guessed it? We always agree. But anyways, I think he was just guilty because I think he actually was helping Lyanna the whole time. I think he knows about Jon. I think he was helping Lyanna with Rhaegar. I think I don't know. I just think he was helping. They were super close. Sonya even makes it a good point that who could have started the rumor about the kidnapping? It could have been him. So yeah, with him helping Lyanna, it kind of trickled down into Robert's rebellion, which means the death of his father, the death of his brother, you know, Robert just starting a rebellion. So yeah, I think he honestly just felt guilty and he went to the Night's Watch because also the Starks still see it as honorable. You know what I mean? They have the blood of the first men. They still see the Night's Watch as super honorable. So with nothing else to do with him not being a lord, I think he felt guilty and he went to the Night's Watch. I know that's kind of underwhelming, and I know a lot of people have some crazy theories that could be true, but the coolest thing about that, him helping Lyanna and being guilty, is the fact that he knew about Jon. So I actually think we're going to save that for part 2 of the video. We're going to be talking about him possibly knowing about John, what that can mean, and also about his transformation. You know, like obviously he has a lot in common with the Night King. If they use the same magic, they use dragon glass into his chest, just like they did the Night King. So what could that possibly mean? Could he possibly still be alive? We're going to talk about everything. I want to see all of your guys' comments down below, and if they're pretty good, I will be featuring them in tomorrow's video. So anyways, this has been LycanStudios. Make sure to smash that thumbs up button. I think we said 104. I know that the majority of this video was just getting his backstory and stuff out of the way, but it's going to be exciting, part 2. So yeah, we'll see you there. Peace.